Welcome to Vibrant Livings International's podcast. You were designed for greatness. This is Donna Tashton, your host, and it is a pleasure to be with you here today, wherever you find yourself at the moment you're listening or watching this podcast. Vibrant Living's mission is to empower you, spirit, soul, and body. I am a life mastery coach, empowering you to master life. And I am so happy you're here. Be sure to continue to download and share this podcast, spreading the light everywhere you go. And reviews are always appreciated. Today, we are going to discuss questions that I have received through our wisdom line. Vibrant Living International now has a wisdom line where you can call and ask any question that you wish, anything about your life, even recipes, whatever, anything. You can ask anything. And today we are going to get into one of the questions that we received on our wisdom line. The number will be in the show notes for you. The statement was, I'm frustrated with how things have been going in my life. Things start going well, and then it doesn't. I am sick and tired of being like this. How can I get my life to change? I don't know about you, but this is a common question. We've all felt like this at some time in our life. And I call it sick and tired of being sick and tired. Our health issues, our financial issues, our relationship issues. So I'd like to share a story, and let's talk about this question today. Charisse was tired of struggling, but it was normal. It was really all she had ever known. She had struggled in her marital relationships with infidelity and other issues, struggle with her health, and even her family's health, family strife, drama, and financial, of course. It seemed like the list would never end. Something it would get better and something else would crop up. She used words like overwhelmed, sleeplessness, blah, lack of energy, fear, anxiousness, and frustration. All words she used to describe herself. With all this going on, when her and I met, it sparked something that had been dormant in her heart. It was hope. Hope that it could be better. Hope that it could be different. And this resonated deep within her, while at the same time doubting that it would work for her. After all, she always got the short end of the stick. Ever feel like that? I know I have. I've personally felt like Charisse. We have had our share of financial difficulties, including bankruptcy. And I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, and I spent many years in pain, fear, hopelessness. And I can relate completely. As someone who diligently loves to study human nature and how our subconscious works, it's interesting how often we sabotage or stop the very thing we say we want. Now, there are many reasons, all of them personalized to what's going on in yours and mine life. And it thrills me as I help my clients discover the root of these reasons and exterminate it. Our thoughts and beliefs are at the core of everything in our life. As you think in your heart, so are you. We don't often realize what we're thinking. It's subtle, it's normal, and we've usually never given time to be aware of what we are actually thinking. Your life at this very moment that you are hearing this is the sum total of the thoughts and images you have had in your mind. Your life at this very moment you are hearing this are the sum total of the thoughts and images you have had in your mind. Now, we've all had bad things happen to us, things that seemed out of our control, really bad stuff. But we always have the option to choose how we're going to respond. And when we choose how we respond, we change the outcome. What someone might have meant for evil can be for good. We get to choose. Now, through all of my studies, I do not pretend to be an expert on how the mind works, but I am an avid student and I have learned some things. We are represented by all the thoughts we've thought, words we've spoken, images that we've held in our mind, and it is reflected in our life. Think about Sharice's statement. Think about the question on the wisdom line. It goes good for a while, and then it doesn't. And I am sick of this yo-yo experience of it going okay and then it not. So, learning how to change what's going on in our subconscious, how to give new orders to it so that it's in alignment with what we really want. This is what we need to learn, right? So first, we have to discover the hidden beliefs that are giving orders to our subconscious. And like it or not, we generally have trouble doing this by ourselves because I can't change to a different level at the same level of thinking that created it. So discovering those hidden beliefs is almost always with someone else helping us. In the book, The Power of the Subconscious by Joseph Murray, he writes, "You are like a captain navigating a ship. He must give the right orders, and likewise, you must give the right orders, meaning thoughts and images, to your subconscious, which controls and governs all of your experiences." Sharice, myself, and hundreds of other women have had feelings of shame and punishment, like I deserve to be sick. I deserve to be unhappy. I deserve to be frustrated. And we don't know why we think that. And we may not even be aware that we're doing it. But I call this our ceiling of goodness. Wherever you find yourself in life today, we all hit a ceiling of goodness. How much goodness is allowed? How much blessings would feel like too much for you? Before you say it's not true, I want you to think about it. We're going to talk about some changes. Let's see if this is really true. Let's say your monthly income is $2,000. That's how much you get every month. And let's add 2 zeros to that. You are now receiving $20,000 a month, each and every month. 20,000. What feelings come up? What thoughts come to mind? Someone gives you a gift or does something nice for you. Have you ever said, "Oh, you shouldn't have"? "Oh, this is too much. You shouldn't have done this"? Does it cause you to have feelings of being obligated to do something in return? The key word is obligated. It's not that you just want to. It's uncomfortable. I'm obligated. If someone's serving you, does it make you feel somewhat uncomfortable? What is your ceiling of goodness? What mine is may not be yours, but we all have them. In the book, The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, he tells a story about the first time he experienced, or at least his awareness of experiencing, this kind of self-sabotage. And I'm going to share his story. He was working at the time at Stanford University as a research psychologist. And he had just came back from lunch with a close friend, and they had spent a congenial hour talking about projects that they were working on. And he was having a wonderful, wonderful time. And he came back to the office and he was reflecting. He leaned back in his chair and stretched and was reflecting. This was a wonderful lunch and things are going well and my relationships are going good. And he just was feeling great. A few seconds later, he found himself worrying about his daughter, who was away from home at a program. All of a sudden, a slideshow of images flickered across his mind. Her sitting alone in her dorm, her feeling lonely and miserable, missing home, her being taunted and mistreated by other kids. All of a sudden, the inner joy just evaporated from his body and his mind as that images continued to roll. Thinking something is wrong, he hurries and picks up the phone and he calls the dorm. Where's she staying? Her dorm supervisor answered and goes, "No, Amanda's fine. I can see her out the window, playing soccer with friends." He thanked her and he hung up and he felt a little foolish. He sat back and he goes, "What just happened? I was going from immense happiness to all of a sudden a stream of painful images. And all that positive energy and happiness just evaporated." He said a part of me was afraid of enjoying that for an extended period of time. And he had reached the ceiling of how much positive feeling he could handle. So his subconscious created unpleasant thoughts to deflate him back to a state of normal that he was feeling normal and familiar of not feeling good. Worrying about children away from home isn't always a handy way. Kids are easy to deflate and worry about that. But if it hadn't been that, it could have been anything to dampen his mood. Have you ever had things been going really well in a relationship and all of a sudden you get critical or you pick a fight? And what about food and eating and exercise and health? All of a sudden we're doing really great. We're exercising regularly. We're eating better. And then we have a weekend of binging that leaves us feeling dull and bloated. We seem to do something to mess it up, whatever it is. And the problem is we have a limited tolerance for feeling good. And when we hit that ceiling of goodness, our subconscious then manufactures thoughts that create us to feel bad because that's what we think is normal. The problem is bigger than just one area. It affects relationships, health, money, and our overall mental happiness. So what do we do to change this cycle? For Charisse and hundreds of women who are working with Vibrant Living, we are discovering how we're sabotaging ourselves in all areas. Charisse had an image of weakness and failure in relationships and money, with a side of drama all mixed up for good measure. Through Vibrant Living signature program called Life by Design, Charisse is getting a brand new outlook on herself and life in general. Old beliefs are being eradicated, and the truth is beginning to shine through. And remember, in the beginning, no matter where you find yourself, we continue as we're growing to hit this ceiling of goodness. And it's there without judgment. Just notice it and learn the skills to be able to raise that ceiling so you can experience all the goodness you want in your life. You can learn in the show notes the link to Vibrant Living's program, Life by Design. But the main thing I want you to take away today is schedule a call. Schedule a conversation. Let's chat about what's going on in your life, what you would want, and create a plan to get there. It's a free consultation, so you can live the life of your dreams. And remember, you were designed for greatness. Let's learn how to live it. The more goodness we have in our life, negativity is eliminated, is pushed back. There's more love. There is more help. There is more blessing and less sickness, more wellness in our life. As we learn how to raise our ceiling of goodness, everything changes. I believe in you, and I look forward to talking with you. And so until next time we are back together, remember you are designed for greatness, and live and love vibrantly. Bye for now.